close the night out right. Panel at the table in that half-dead light. Miss Robin in the middle, calling every shot, directing and producing till the story runs hot. 1-1 from the city, badge heavy on his chest, towing that law like a wicked chain, spitting facts, no rest. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. JJ in the corner, state of the deep in his head. Which lies to toss and which ones to keep instead. Dago from the cafe says forget about it, leans back, spins his thoughts like a blade cutting holes in the track. Lee at the front, head advocate, steady stare, every word like a warning, every silence a dare. All of them leaning in, clock crawling, eyes bright. Every secret feels louder than the buzzing of the night. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. You can bury it in paper, you can lock it in a file, but the truth bleeds through, drip by drip, tile by tile. We're dragging it to daylight, name by name, line by line. If you wrote it in the shadows, we'll read it out this time. Yeah. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite.
All right, everybody, welcome to A Crimes After Dark. Do I have a wave back? Yes, thank you very much. All right, so we are live, and hey, I came to the conclusion more and more now as we're getting ready to do these intros of trying to soft pedal our way into that parental discretion is advised part of the show, because it gives us a couple minutes to not drop a bad word. And I have noticed that a few people have told me that they let their kids stay through the intro. And while I never want to be a kids show, because I'm just not how I roll, I do think it's kind of cool to ease into the show. Once we get past the monologue, then we'll let our hair down a little bit. So there you go. That's our new kind of direction. We'll be a little, and I said this like on my fireside chat. Innuendos are okay because that kind of goes over the heads of some people, right? But we'll keep the F-bombs to a minimum during the intro. And then when we get past the monologue, then away we go. So with that in mind, we got another Crimes After Dark show every 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll talk a little bit about a premiere video that I'm going to do. I was going to talk about it tonight. I'll talk a piece. Maybe we'll talk a piece about that tonight. But the big premiere I want to do tomorrow, I say big premiere, but right now videos are kind of going slow for a lot of us, I feel like. So anyways, but let's get the panel up. Let's talk about how things are going, what our days are like. Maybe somebody hit some person outside of Logan's house again. We'll see. Bring her up on stage. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Did anybody get hit outside your house today?
No, not today. I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing. Boring.
Right? I mean, well, at least it wasn't an animal. So there's that.
Exactly.
Anything exciting in your world? What have you done today? What have you done today? What have you done? What are you going to do with your life?
I know, right? What am I? So I worked and then I had my live as soon as I got off work. But yesterday I worked till 7:00. So I'm working like 12 hours at my day job and then I'm doing lives and it's been so much fun.
I don't know how you
love
guys.
my job.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it. Like this is all I do, and I can hardly keep up. And then I have people busting my nuts saying that I'm not keeping up fast enough. I'm like, it's all I do. Like this is all I do. Like, how do you guys have jobs and keep up? Am I
It's
just that old?
different when it's something you love.
Yeah, but I do love it. It's fun. Anyways,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that you have the youth to go put in a freaking full-time job day and then come and do this with me. But
Youth? I'm old.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. All right, let's get the rest of the panel up. It's good to see you again for tonight. I think we're going to, by the way, we have everybody backstage except for JJ, but I'm pretty sure Joe from State of the Deep is going to be joining us here in a short while. So let's get Diego up on screen next. Diego, what's up?
Forget about it. Forget about it.
What up?
What up, bros?
Whoa. Yeah, bros
Yow.
and hoes. So what's going on in your life? Did you do let me guess, you did like 8 hours of streaming, put in a 2-hour long form video and did some research and then you came in here to this show?
Absolutely not. I played around making music. I sat in my Discord with my mods for a while. I went in and played around with CapCut because I'm trying to learn how to run that because I'm 5 years old perpetually. That's what I did today. Oh, and I did my wifely duties and cleaned my house and all that for my wife so that she could come home to a clean house and all that stuff. So,
you know what I'm getting tired of, by the way, as an aside, before we bring up the rest of their panel. So I cut a long form video that I haven't done for a while. And again, for like this third time, it seems like in a short period of time, I recorded while showing videos, like online of YouTube or whatever, and forgot to share the sound. So I'm pausing the video and talking about it and pausing the video and talking about it. And then I go back and watch and it's dead air for all the parts. So then I have to splice in the actual sounds. Oh my God. And I can't, I'm the kind of person that needs to go with the first take. Like, I don't want to have to redo the energy that was the first take. Yeah. I'm a first take kind of guy. So,
well, my producer has been trying to hold my hand and teach me how to edit, which is why I don't do anything but lives, because I'm just my ADHD is like blah, 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 constantly, and I don't have the patience to start, every time I open up that program or any of those programs, I go into panic mode and it's like, no. And he's like, calm down, Joey.
It's not that bad.
And Mike, he's awesome. He's got the patience of a saint. So we, yeah, I appreciate it.
I actually kind of enjoy editing. It's just that I don't have time to do it. Like, I don't mind doing it. It's kind of fun. But
it is when you learn it. Like I'm one of those weirdos that like when I figured out the AI stuff and I started creating all that new AI stuff. I mean, I did a video leading up to our Saturday show coming up. That's really badass. It animated itself by accident. I didn't even realize what I was doing. I'm like, look what I did, like a 5-year-old. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I get excited when I am getting better at doing stuff. After 4 years, you would think I should, so it's time. So that's all I've been doing.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I've had people that want me to try to explain to them how to make a quick video, and I'm like, dude, it took me years to figure out how to do it. Like, I can't just sit down and show it to you. And even I'm not good at it. It took me years to get to a competency level, but not great.
That's the problem. I never would get in. I didn't trust myself enough to start doing it, so I just didn't do it. Now, when the AI stuff came out, it was like, editing for dummies is what it is. It's very easy. Like, you tell it what you want, it does it for you. So I'm trying to learn the hard way.
That's awesome. That is awesome. All right, let's bring Robin up, and then 1-1. We'll have 1-1 read his monologue. Well, hopefully JJ will show up before we get to the monologue, or maybe not, because maybe he needs to get the family off to bed. But anyways, what is up, Robin?
Hello, one and all. How's everybody?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
that oh,
That was
okay.
country.
See, I'm beginning to see another theme night some night where
I was just gonna say, could we do an entire show this way?
Oh, I absolutely could, love.
Yes, yes.
We'll have
Right on.
Yes. Part of I think I'm doing that because I watched that stupid Prince Andrew video. I was like, oh my god, that interview is so pathetic. Anyway,
Didn't he get arrested today?
Yes, on his birthday. On his birthday,
he got arrested.
Yes,
today's
he
his
got
birthday.
arrested. Today's his birthday, and he sat. We watched. It's so hilarious because in the interview, the video shows him with his arm around the girl that he says, "I have no idea who she is." Okay, buddy, whatever you say.
At Epstein's mansion.
Yes, exactly. And then he was like, "Yeah, I was never really there. When I was there, I was kind of like."
Not there.
I might have been upstairs or something. I was with Typically Unique this morning for that. We were both dying laughing. It was so ridiculous. And then the man starts sweating his brains out, making these dumb faces. She'd ask a question about a foot massage, and he's like, "I don't have feet," or something stupid is what he looked like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's horrible.
It was crazy.
All right, Robin, what do you have? Anything special happen today at all? Any highlights that you want to share?
No, just work, just the usual. Nothing exciting here.
I wish I had more time to use the writing software you showed me that uses AI, because it's funny. You talked about like you can like train the AI to have your characters interact with each other and kind of give you a basis for some dialogue to start, which is super.
Oh, that's a whole other program. That's a whole other thing.
That's not the one you've shown me.
That's a whole other program. And don't get freaked out, everybody. When I'm writing my books, I'm not using AI for the prose. What I do is I role play. Like you can train it to role play. So but it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. So I'll show you.
Yeah, as an aside to do that for people like who think that AR is writing the book, I would say that, I mean, I don't know what your process is, but I do know that as a writer, when you're trying to find your character's voice, it would be cool to have that tool to kind of like give it the parameters of its personality and then try to like interact with it. And then it helps you find that voice, right? So it's not really, you're using it to write the book, you're using it to find the character. But
and sometimes you use it if you get stuck. And you're like, oh God, how should this person react to this particular stimuli?
Yeah.
And it'll go through and it'll just, and it just kind of gets you unstuck. I typically do not use anything necessarily that AI gives me. Like I don't copy and paste or anything like that. That would be like so wrong.
Yeah.
But what I do is I go through and I will just get a general sense and then just tweak from there kind of and go. But it's fun because the characters will talk back to you in their voice, which is hysterical.
I would imagine it is. I'm going to change the wallpaper behind us because some people say that they have a hard time with that moving wallpaper when there's a bunch of us on there. And so for those who are vertigo challenged or, whatever you've got that causes motion blur, I took some of that off. All right, let's get one up so he can say his monologue and get the fam off the bed and all those good things and see what's up in One's world.
Is it tea time?
It is tea time. Tea and crumpets.
Tea and crumpets.
Might I have a biscuit?
So what's happening today in your world?
Well, I've been waiting 2 months. Finally got my massage chair fixed and probably cracked my back like 7 times. It's good stuff.
All right.
They're expensive, but I recommend anyone if you're able. It's definitely worth the expense. It puts you in like another galaxy.
I'm sitting in one right now.
It's they're amazing. They really are.
Yes. It's
beautiful. So the Prince Andrew thing. The only thing what I could say about that, it's a start. But he's not being arrested for doing anything yet with any. So make that clear.
Charges?
It's what it basically is. I forget the actual name, but what it basically is that he abused his
Power.
He abused his political power. That's what he's being charged.
Yeah.
So is it something? Is it I don't know. I don't know how it works in England over there. They're saying that he may do some time or whatnot, but the problem is that a lot of the emails and communication, are all like locked behind all the stuff with his being a prince and all that stuff. So are they going to be forthcoming and give all that info out? So
they stripped him of all that. Like,
no, they stripped him of it, but they have a lot of evidence that. So they may have stripped him, but are they going to be forthcoming and come forward and give all that?
Well, they're going to protect themselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So this is it's like a start. Like, he's gonna he's basically getting a slap on the wrist. I guess it's better than nothing. Is he gonna actually get what he should get? Like the disgusting person that he really is? Probably not. But
there's rumor that Charles's name is on that list too, and that's the one I want to see how that goes down.
Yeah.
The chat says that Andrew's released already.
See, of course he would be.
Yeah, and I think he turned 66. I think they said today. Yeah,
they can't do no worse than with Elizabeth. They stripped him of all his royalties and shoved him in his shed out in a field somewhere and said, "You're not royal anymore. Go live your life."
Right.
Well, look, let's do the monologue and let's get into this show because I feel like we've got a lot we can talk about. Yeah, let's get into the monologue.
Is it good to be alive? Is it good to be alive in the den?
Always.
Yeah.
On Thursday night.
Always.
Yeah.
That scared the shit.
All right.
Yeah.
I had a bowel movement.
Is
that a brown noise?
I'm done now. I'm done, dude. You just killed me. I'm done.
Juliana, Jackson, my beautiful wife. Love you guys. Have a good night. This is Devil's Advocates. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just a moment before the story snaps. They call it true crime. We call it a negotiation with the truth. And the truth is a bad faith actor. Every case arrives prepackaged. A headline, a villain, a bow. We rip the bow off. We lose the receipt. We check the seams for fingerprints. Because nothing this messy comes from one clean explanation. Here, timelines stutter. Alibis sweat. Witnesses forget things at very convenient moments. And silence screams. We don't chase closure. Closure is marketing. We chase the gap. That uncomfortable pause where everyone changes the subject. Where the cameras cut. Where the record skips. Where the truth starts pacing like it knows it's being watched. You'll hear facts. You'll hear contradictions. You'll hear people swear they're certain. And then you'll hear why certainty should make you nervous. This isn't a courtroom. It's the hallway outside 1 at 3 a.m., where the walls know more than the witnesses. We argue the official story, then we argue with ourselves, then we argue with you, because the devil doesn't need a side, just a good question and the nerve to ask it twice. If you're here for answers, you might want to leave now. If you're here for the uncomfortable, the unresolved, the things that don't fit but won't go away, good. Lock the door, kill the lights, check the timeline again. This is Devil's Advocates, and nothing stays settled. And with that, live from New York, it's Thursday night.
Woo!
Yay!
All right.
All right.
Woo-hoo.
Whoa.
And no. I'm cleaned out already.
No bowel movements. No more bowel movements. You killed me with that. I almost lost it. Almost lost it. I had to mute myself twice.
You can't have a little humor. What can you do? Yeah.
Anyone have
That
any
was great.
biscuits? I need
That
some
was a good-
biscuits.
biscuits, please. That was a good one. I like that one.
So what do we got? What do we got to talk about tonight? I have pretty open forum. I would encourage users, chat members, all those, whatever you want to call us, everybody who's in our various communication forums to take. Now, how do we, I don't know how we do, how do we get people on your various co-streams to be able to get onto our backstage? Do they have to be watching me to get the backstage link, or?
I mean, we can all drop the link in our chat separately.
Yeah.
Robin, maybe paste the link in there, and
I was just going to say I'll stick it in the private chat.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good night for everybody to come up
There
on
we
the
go.
show if you want to come up and join us, because we got a pretty loose schedule. I will tell you about some things that I did today. Two things. One, I got things to tell you. Did I tell you about the response I got from Lecher County Prosecutor's Office, Bill Thompson's office, in response to my kind of threatening to take them to court? Did I tell you about that letter?
No.
All right. So let me tell you about that. So I had originally filed a public records request to Bill Thompson's office, and it basically said something like this: can you please show me your procedures on how to handle a crime scene? When the prosecutor goes into the scene, when the coroner goes into the scene, how you process the thing. What are the procedures you go by? Their response was twofold, and it was written from, but Bill Thompson has an attorney, by the way. Bill Thompson has an attorney that writes for him. So his letterhead says, a prosecuting attorney, Bill Thompson, and then I get a letter from Ari Woodyard, I think, anyways, is his attorney that writes to me. And she said, we don't have to tell you anything because it's attorney-client privilege. So everything you're asking about specific about a case, we don't have to tell you because it's attorney-client privilege. And two, we don't have any procedures on how to handle crime scenes. So,
surprise!
What a bunch of shit.
So I spent some time getting some advice, and was told that the answer, we don't have procedures, is not appropriate. So what I did is I drafted a letter that said, please put in writing that you literally are saying you have no procedures on how to handle crime scenes, or provide them. Either provide me the procedures or put in writing that you don't actually have, that it's correct. You have no procedures on how to handle crime scenes. The letter I got back was polite from their attorney that said, we're not trying to be difficult here, but the answer we gave you is the answer allowed to be given to you by law, essentially. And if you disagree with us, you can take us to court in 180 days. You have 180 days to sue us. So that was it. It was like, we gave you the answer that we're allowed to give you by law, and we don't have to tell you anything more. So if you don't like it, you can take us to court within 180 days. I don't know that I'm in a position financially or whatever to go try to get into a legal battle with somebody who spent their entire career in law and go up against Bill Thompson. That's probably not a wise move. So I just thought it was kind of frustrating that their answer was, it was polite. Hey, we're not trying to be difficult, but we don't have to give you any more information than we did. So sue us if you want to.
That's just a polite.
I mean, it's such a bunch of shit. Such a bunch of.
It is.
Such a bunch of bullshit. I mean, so basically you're telling me, they just hire people off the street and they don't teach them, they don't show them anything. Like, obviously, yeah, you have to learn how to fire a weapon and all this other stuff. But besides from actual, learning the laws of Idaho and felonies and misdemeanors and all that stuff, you have to learn procedure. Like what are the, you don't just instantly know like what to do at a crime scene. It doesn't even make any sense.
Every entity, whether it be law enforcement, judicial, legal, medical, EMS, fire, any of that stuff has a standard operating procedure.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And then and they have to have that, because then if something goes wrong and it's not followed, what do you think happens? You wind up being the fall guy for that. So if you're involved in something, they're gonna be like, well, you didn't follow, section 202.13 sub B says when this happens, you're supposed to do this, and you didn't follow it. So therefore,
yeah. Real quick, let's acknowledge Island Girl. Island Girl. Island Girl. Thank you. Welcome to the membership. I hope you will enjoy it. By the way, here's what's cool about becoming a member. Was that a member on our side? Sometimes I get confused who's a member on my side. The cool thing about that is, I have members only lives that I've been doing, breaking down some of these public records requests, which was another thing I was going to talk to you about tonight, is some of the public records requests that I went through today. And I got a premiere tomorrow. I'm trying to decide. Normally I do a long form video as I release it as members only first, and I kind of give it like 12 hours of sitting with members only to get a preview, a look at it, and then it goes out the next day. I don't think premieres allow members to view it ahead of time. That's the only disadvantage. So, but anyways, you'll get plenty of content, including being able to sit in tomorrow when I do some more deep dives on public records. It's fun. It's fun getting surprises in public records. Two surprises I'll share with you. I don't want to steal my thunder from my big video tomorrow. So I know that a lot of people, and I get it, we're getting fatigue on Idaho 4, and you're really getting fatigue on hearing Brent Kopacka's name. However, what I've been getting lately is a crap ton of Brent Kopacka body-worn camera footage, files, pictures, and it's leading to new questions, as I knew it was going to. And by the way, I'm kind of excited. This is another thing I didn't tell you guys. I got a notice today from Whitman County Sheriff's Department that they now have a package for Kopacka prepared for me. And all they want is $25, and then I can get their package, part one. They've got multiple parts they're going to send me, but part one's going to be $25. So we've got a war chest for that. And the reason why I'm excited about that is everything I've seen so far is from Pullman. Now I get to see another agency, and everybody redacts differently. That's one of the cool things. Everybody redacts differently. So I may see stuff that they didn't redact that Pullman was like, you're not seeing that shit, but Whitman County might share it with me. So who knows? So, where was I going with that? Two little things I can share that it's going to be part of my big video tomorrow, but it's not the big reveal. Was Christian Yenna, one of the roommates of Brent Kopacka, who was hauled out of that apartment in the early stages, and his dog. There's interviews with Christian Yenna. His name is all over Idaho State Police reports with the interviews and Moscow Police Department interviews. His name is well known in the community. Christian Yenna and Jordan Baker were the two roommates of Brent Kopacka. And yet, on the body-worn camera footage, when a female officer is leading him out of the building, she says, "Hey, guy, what's your name?" And he says, "Gabrielle." Gabrielle is what he says his name is. Later on, she addresses him and says, "So Gabrielle." And then somebody who knows him says, "Hey, Christian, you want to ride?" And I'm like, why is it that his name is Christian, but he's telling the cop his name is Gabrielle? And Gabrielle sounds like a feminine name. I don't know if it's his middle name or whatever. I've heard some crazy stories about the roommates trying to seduce Brent Kopacka and some kind of weird, made him uncomfortable. So is Gabrielle some kind of, I don't know, but whatever the case may be, when he told the officer, "My name's Gabrielle," and I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, how? That's not your name.
I was going to ask you, did he say Gabriel or Gabrielle?
It sounds like Gabrielle, and she pronounces it Gabrielle. Yeah, it's the feminine version of it. Whoa. Yeah, Gabrielle. Yeah.
How old was this guy? This Gabrielle? Do you know?
20 something. Now, to be fair, I believe he's from another country. He's only been in the United States for a while, like maybe 10 years. So that's a long time, but he wasn't born and raised here. He came from another country, I think. And so maybe there's a language barrier, not a barrier. I don't know. But yeah, he definitely says Gabrielle, like the feminine version. Not Gabrielle.
But Gabrielle and Christian, there's no language barrier there. It's just not the same thing.
My only thought was, well, maybe his name is Christian Gabrielle, Yenna, and he goes by Gabrielle, but everybody called him Christian, so that's not
Gabrielle
true.
Christian, yeah, that's a good
right.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. And the other thing I was going to share with you for talking points, if you want. For those people who are saying, why the fuck does Devils... See, I can say the F word now. We're well enough into the show. Why the fuck does Devil's Advocate still talk about Brent Kopacka? Let it go, dude. Brent Kopacka had nothing to do with this. I would love to put it to bed. But as a teaser, and I showed this to a few people already, but I want to show it to you tonight. Steve Gonzalez, right up to the plea deal where Kohberger actually pled guilty, believed that Brent Kopacka was going to be the lead suspect and they were going to list him. So for those of you who think I'm an asshole for bringing his name up, even Steve Gonzalez thought Brent Kopacka was going to be named as the suspect. And I'm going to show it to you because a lot of people, including myself, didn't see it, didn't hear it, but I'm going to play it for you so you can hear it. So let me put this on screen. Share the screen, entire screen with sound, bada bing, add it, and give some kind of like this, maybe. See, what is with this new behavior where you got to remove something first before you can add something? That's so weird. All right.
Yeah.
What we're going to play, and hopefully with the sound, I'm giving you a little extra than you need. I'll stop right after we get to the key point. This is outside the courthouse on the day that Brian Kohberger pled guilty and gave his guilty plea. I was there in the courthouse. And here's the thing. Let me tell you, for those who don't know, I was in the courthouse and I heard a buzz starting to go around. And the buzz is the Gonzaleses were arriving outside and that Steve Gonzalez plans to make a big protest on the steps of the courthouse. And I had reporters sitting next to me in the courthouse that didn't know what to do. Do we go outside to watch the shit show outside, or do we stay in the courthouse for the plea deal with Kohberger? And so this video starts with, and we won't show it, Steve Gonzalez and his entire family walking up to the courthouse steps. He kisses his wife and daughters goodbye, and they go in, and him and his son then go address the media. That was the shit show protest that was going to happen outside. And you'll hear protesters maybe saying, or not protesters, media saying, is this your protest? Is this your protest you heard about? Because they thought they were going to make a big stink. But listen, that's my favorite thing, right? Listen to what Steve Gonzalez says when they ask Steve, if there's one thing you can tell the judge that you could say to him, what would it be? And listen carefully to his response when it gets to that point in this discussion. So, all right, let's play it.
Yeah. They just agreed on something and then they just completely back. We didn't agree on anything. He only negotiated with the murderer of our children. That was the only person that he negotiated with. He didn't give us the common courtesy to negotiate with us, even pretend. He could have just pretended and then lied, but he didn't even pretend. He basically said, your guys' input isn't needed.
The judge could hear one thought from you that he should remember. What is it?
He's going to own this. He's going to inherit what Thompson did, and he's the only one that can fix it. He's the only one who can make it right. He needs to protect those other surviving victims and make this person say that they had nothing to do with it. He did it solely. He did it all on his own, and nobody else was responsible. And then we won't keep having these supporters always saying that he got set up. We know what he's planning on doing. Somebody died, a vet died, and he's going to try to say that, put the blame on that person. So he's not going to take accountability. And Thompson didn't.
So in case you didn't catch what he just said, we know what Brian Kohberger is going to do. A vet died, and he's going to blame it on the vet. We know that's what he's going to do. Steve Gonzalez was wrong. Steve Gonzalez didn't realize that inside the courthouse, the judge did in fact ask Brian Kohberger to admit that you did it and you did it alone. He said what the judge needs to do is make him say he did it alone and not some kind of bullshit where he did it with somebody, because we already know what he's going to do. He's going to say that a vet did it with him or whatever. And that's what Steve Gonzalez just said. And there's only one vet in this story. It's Brent Kopacka. So all you people who think that I'm an asshole for bringing up Brent Kopacka, Steve Gonzalez, to the day Kohberger pled guilty, believed that Brent Kopacka was going to be named as the killer, or at least one of the killers in this thing, because he said the judge needs to make him say, because I know what Brian's going to do. Brian's going to say it was this vet that did it. So funny. Here's the funny thing about that. Brent Kopacka's name wasn't one of the listed alternative suspects that Ann Taylor brought forward. Brent Kopacka wasn't one of them. So how did Steve get the idea that Brent Kopacka's name was going to get dropped as the killer when he wasn't on the list of the 4 alternative suspects? What do you guys think about that?
No, he must have other info. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
he has to have
anything
other
about a
right.
vet?
Yeah.
I think somebody said that to him. I think he's just repeating what somebody else
Yeah.
Bingo.
was feeding him like a Bill Thompson or something along those lines.
He seems to have done that a lot throughout this entire thing. That's what I agree with her fully, because that's constantly happening. And then he'll make some dumb statement, which is wrong. And you gotta, it's nothing he would ever say without being told, in my opinion.
Right.
Well, you tell me, do you think that this is the first time that are you suggesting that this is the first time Steve Gonzalez has ever heard the idea that there was a vet possibly involved in this story? I mean, that's what I'm asking. Like, do you think someone just told him right now, hey, by the way, they're going to blame it on some vet? Or like, do you think he knew about the vet story all along?
Yeah, I think he knew about it for a while.
Yeah, I definitely think he knew about it. I think people that were involved in this case on like the prosecution side or were feeding him information, and then he'd go and repeat it, and then he'd look stupid because he was wrong, but he got it from the people that were very deep into this case, like the prosecution.
They used him as a tool to get done what they needed to be done. They knew exactly what they were doing. When they realized, in my opinion, at the beginning, that he was going to do this the whole time, they were like, yeehaw, let's use him to get out with everything we need to get done. And that's exactly what happened, in my opinion.
Yep.
And to tease a little bit, because I want people to have an opportunity to see it laid out in its entirety, to tease a little bit what tomorrow's premiere is going to be. And a premiere, in case you don't know what that means, is it's a pre-recorded video, but I'll be live in the chat to interact with the chat live while it's going. So I won't be talking. You'll be watching a pre-recorded that I did earlier today, but I'll be live in the chat with you. And to give you a teaser of what it's going to be about, while we were watching live today on members only deep dive into body-worn camera, I saw what I saw was a slip of a tongue of a Pullman police officer that ties together Brent Kopacka was a suspect in the Idaho 4 murders. Many people theorized, they thought Brent Kopacka was involved at the Idaho 4 murders, but a lot of people say that's bullshit. It's completely isolated event. It has nothing to do with Idaho 4. Brent Kopacka's friend, Darren Duncan, said, I think they came there that night thinking he had something to do with the Idaho 4 murders, and that's why they killed him. And people kind of blew that off as, no, that's not true. But I caught live today a slip of an officer's wording that sent us down a rabbit hole that just kept getting worse and worse. And I'm going to lay it out for you tomorrow in the premiere about what that officer said and why it was a big oh shit and what it suggests it means. So hopefully you'll be intrigued enough to watch the premiere and see it laid out, because I also don't want to do it half justice and not show all the receipts. I actually read some police reports too and show you where the wording came from, why the officer asked that question. It's worth watching, in my opinion. So hopefully you'll catch that. So much silence. All right. It's not like I can't talk. Okay, fuck it. I'm going to talk. So you and that new microphone, man. I'm telling you what. So look, another thing, because I saw this is what spurred this. You guys feel free to talk. I'm going to let you talk, I swear. But if nobody's going to talk, I learned from radio. Keep talking. So I saw Jody from Defense Rests in Australia. She's in the room. I saw her pop in. So as you guys know, I've been following this Lecher County situation. Mickey Steins, Sabrina Atkins about to go to trial in a federal case against Ben Fields for monetary damages in the civil case. From what I understand, and I've talked to Sabrina a couple times now, and I've talked to other people, locals. Sabrina on Tuesday is going to have basically a pre-trial hearing, in which it is not uncommon for somebody to offer a settlement, right? So I can't tell you the number that they've asked for in the settlement, because I don't know if it's been public. I've heard the number of what they're asking for, and I've been told that they're probably going to get offered a fraction of what they've asked for in a settlement. Also, I told you I talked to an attorney, John Ray, famous attorney John Ray, and he said, look, they've got an uphill battle. The system's designed to protect the system, and so it's really going to be how aggressive do they want to get. So anyways, where it's going to go is this. I've been told, and I can't tell you exactly why, I've been told that Sabrina's not in a position to settle, but they're going to basically probably offer a settlement. So what will happen on Tuesday is they're either going to settle or they're going to probably go forward. If they go forward, I think I've got enough air miles on my ticket to fly back out there and attend to the trial. So I think I'm going to attend the trial if there's going to be a trial. So we'll know here on Tuesday whether they're going to settle in that case, in which case nobody will know the truth because they'll just undisclosed amount and settle their, and that's the way they want to do it, right? When there's corruption, they want to settle out of court so that no dirty laundry gets aired and nobody goes to jail and nobody gets arrested and nobody loses their whole life savings, whatever. Settlements is how you avoid your dirty laundry, and then you just keep doing the same shit because you notice it's always better to settle than to lose. So if they go forward with that trial, I'm going to try to go out there for that. There isn't, as Jody says, there isn't a number high enough. Yeah, you're right. There's not a number of justice to what's been happening, especially when you count in that there appear to be murders involved with trying to keep this thing under wraps. And how do you give somebody enough money to pay for murder? But anyways, so there's some other news.
And the sad thing is if they do take a settlement, they'll use that against him. If they are to take a settlement in the situation, they'll say, "See, look,
they didn't have a case."
They'll completely twist it on them, and it's sad.
Yeah. The victims are victimized again.
And what's interesting is this case is now granted, some would argue that Mickey Stein's case is the bigger case, right? Mickey Stein's is the sheriff that shot the judge in the judge's chambers. This is related to that case for sure. This is the deputy of Mickey Stein's, and it's what's I think the Mickey Stein's case is the reason why the judge was shot. It's the very reason why the judge was shot. But I can't prove that.
Do we know the judge was shot like in real life for real? And I'm not trying to
this is where we need JJ on
there, and there goes the apple fall.
Yep.
Just kidding.
All right, Logan, let's talk about that for a minute.
I'll be back. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Bye. Good show.
So here's the thing with the devil's in the details. This is what I'll tell you. On the footage that you see of Mickey Stein's shooting the judge, you do see the pistol jerking in reaction to ballistics coming out. Like you see what looks like on camera. You don't hear it, but you see the gun bucking like shots are being fired. What you don't see is a muzzle flash.
Nope.
And what you don't see is any blood anywhere. Nope. Like he shot the judge 9 times. And nowhere in the video do you see blood. On top of that, there's a sketchy moment where I guess a bailiff comes in. I haven't seen this myself, but the bailiff comes in, looks at the judge, and just kind of leaves like, no, never mind. Like the actions, the lack of blood, and the lack of muzzle flash makes you wonder. Some people, did the judge really get shot or not?
There absolutely should be a flash at the end of the barrel of the gun. There should be. Maybe even smoke, okay? And even when his hand jerks a little bit, I mean, he's a big guy, but it should have been a little bit more, in my opinion, which tells me to what he may have had in that gun to use as ammunition, if anything at all. But we scoured that video and repeatedly looked at it again and again and again and again.
Yeah,
there's no flash whatsoever.
Yeah, because even if he was firing blanks, you would still see the flash.
It would still flash.
So you wouldn't see the blood. You wouldn't see the blood, but you'd still see the.
And that's the thing too, is 9 times, like Lee said, 9. There's no blood on the man's clothing, and there's a point where I think they probably didn't do something they were supposed to do. They blurred the video, by the way, after that. We all got to see it in the very beginning, and now it's all blurred everywhere you go. It's funny, but maybe because people started noticing things like there was no muzzle flash and stuff. So then he gets under the desk at some point, okay? And you can see his head under there crawling forward. There are 2 points, and maybe this is me. When he looks over the desk after the first 3 shots, and he looks at Steins, and I swear to God, Logan, there's a grin on his face. I swear to God. And I've had people tell me the same thing. It just doesn't work. It's crazy. Yeah. So there's not one drop of blood anywhere. Not one.
No, I went when I knew I was going to be coming on this show and I knew you guys were talking about that case. I went and not that I wasn't familiar, but I wanted more details. So I went to look and I specifically wanted to look at the blood spatter. That's like my thing. And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, where is it?
Well,
And
here's a good point. Somebody pointed something out. One you could probably go with this. The distance that Mickey was standing from him when the first 2 or 3 shots, right? Is maybe 3 to 4 feet max. First off, Mullins didn't have a retraction to the gunshot. He should have, okay? Like his body should have retracted. There wasn't one. It's almost like he crawled out of his chair. He did not fall out or get blown out or retract from the bullet hitting him. Right. There should have instantly been a spatter against the wall next to him, or a spatter that came back towards Stein. Yeah. None of that happened. None of it happened. No.
So and along that, and it's funny because I try, I tend to get a little heebie-jeebie when everything gets talked about. Is it a witness extraction? But I will say this: in this case, and I said this early on, I feel like this is going to go way up. I think the whole county knew about this. I think it was a scam that everybody knew, and there may be somebody at the level of a governor or a congressman that knows how bad this county is and how bad this thing is. And then there's rumors that Mickey Steins himself was reporting it up to the state attorney general's office. So did an investigation happen? Did the feds get involved at some point? And could there ever be a scenario in which Kevin Mullins could be a star witness to go after a bigger fish, somebody higher up the food chain than him in this whole thing? And would they have staged a murder to make it look like Kevin Mullins is dead, and so that he's in witness protection to speak in a much higher case? Now, again, I have to be careful about that, but this is one of those cases where it might actually make sense, but I don't know.
Yeah, because of those things that we just discussed.
Yeah,
it's
just too much. It just, there's just too much in that video to like. It's not a realistic.
I've never
shooting. It's not real. Yeah. It's not realistic.
And listen, here's another thing too: is the type of video that is. Okay, there's audio that goes with that. They just didn't give it to us. Okay, there's reasons.
I've heard some of it. I saw a courtroom video where they played the shooting for the family, and I heard the family crying, and you got to hear a little bit of the judge's reaction to the shots in that video. So I've heard a little bit of it, but most of it I haven't heard.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, I suppose it depends who the higher up is, what they have on him, what they're trying, who they're trying to take down, everything like that would determine if this was just a WITSEC thing or what.
Well, yeah. And I got to agree with Lee. This situation itself, out of all of the situations that we've looked at, fits that like a glove, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and I've said it before, I did a rare move of calling the FBI tip line just to kind of say, hey, there's a big case coming up in the Benfield civil trial, and the locals are talking to me because of what I do, that people are getting killed to keep them shut up in the civil trial. And, are you guys, interested in looking into it? And they just said, if we're interested, we'll call you back. Thanks very much. And hung up on me essentially. And I've been told that's the way they respond to everybody. They just kind of say, well, if we're interested, we'll let you know. And then you're off the phone. So
it's kind of a shame.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what good is that?
It makes me go back to my bitch about, close your ears, one. It goes back to my bitch about law enforcement in general being a one-sided situation. They always want tips from the public. They always want you to come forward, but they don't tell you dick in return. You never get told whether your tip led to an arrest. You never get told if you did the right thing or if you wasted their time. You get nothing. They will literally, the response is, we will let you know if we want something from you. So it's a one fucking sided relationship. And I feel like America could do better at restoring confidence in law enforcement if law enforcement treated people a little bit more like their time and their tips were valuable, instead of like, if I'm interested in what you have to say, I'll fucking call you. Otherwise, thank you and have a nice day.
And they ask the public for help all the time.
Yeah, right. Ask for the help and then treat you like shit when you give help.
And
They're
then,
like, you're not worthy of getting the answer.
That's what kills me, because they'll ask us for help and then they complain about us because we're trying to help.
Yeah.
JJ, you just missed Logan asking if there was a witness extraction in the Lecher County case of the judge. So I was like, oh shit.
Well, what weren't you guys talking about that?
We were just talking about it.
Well, I'm saying is that remember that little private chat we did, and my jaw dropped.
You're like, are you guys talking about what I think you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, wow. Now it's coming at me.
It was definitely a whoa moment.
Well, hello everybody.
What's up? How you doing?
Hello to the denizens, the meatballs, and the mods. I'm all jacked up on caffeine. I didn't have time to eat, so I just chugged some coffee. So I'm all pumped up, ready to go.
Hans and Franz was here to pump you up. Man, my references are old. My references are old.
I love that though. That's great.
Yeah. That's a classic.
Steve Martin and
yeah, who were the two? Was it Dana Carvey? Was it that old?
No, it was older.
No.
Steve Martin
Dana Carvey.
No, it was before him.
Was it?
Oh, wait a minute.
Hans. I'm Franz.
Hans and Franz.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was Steve Martin and somebody else from the old school show.
All right, we're you know what we're gonna do?
Was
we're
it
gonna
Dana
go to ChatGPT. Who
it might have
played
been
Hans and Franz?
It was before Dana Carvey. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I think it was Dan Aykroyd.
It might have been.
It was Dana Carvey, like I said, and Kevin Nealon.
Kevin Nealon.
No. I bet you that was a because they did that way back when, Lee. Unless those two redid it.
Hold on. Let's do this. I know. See, now you got to.
It's trivia night.
Hans and Franz.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I swear that they did that beforehand, though.
All right. There you go.
It's the Mandela effect.
Yeah, it's all old. So I get lost once it's past a certain year. It's just old to me.
I've got underwear older than that show. So
look, I'm old enough to remember the John Belushi days and the Bill Murray and the
Rita Radner.
Yeah, Gilda Radner, the Coneheads, and
Oh my God, that was funny.
Yeah, the old school. What I would argue is the best SNL.
Chevy Chase. Yeah,
it was good. It was good.
Yeah, we are definitely some of us on here are showing our age every time we do this shit.
But
Logan's probably.
I do have to say I was a big fan of In Living Color though.
Yeah.
That was one of the greatest shows.
I loved. I mean, I even though they made fun of Michael Jackson like every show, but Homie the Clown
and Vanilla Ice too.
Yep, Homie the Clown.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Fred.
Oh God! Let me tell you something.
Was Jim Carrey on In Living Color?
Yeah,
that was one of the greatest comedy shows.
Yeah, Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah.
Yeah. Men on film.
Men on film.
Oh boy.
That wouldn't fly today. That show would not.
I know.
Oh hell no.
No. And the Fly Girls.
Yeah.
And the Fly Girls. Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez. That's how J-Lo got her start.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We need to move on. We need to.
We should throw up some clips from.
Let me tell you something.
Color.
We'll get copyright strikes all day long. But, yeah.
Oh man, I love Fire Marshal Bill. Fire Marshal Bill was great too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that show was just one of the greatest.
It always made me wonder how Bill, my God, what the hell's his name? That Fire Marshal Bill.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
When he did that skit, he had to sit like this for like the whole skit. with his neck out and everything. I'm like, how the hell do you do that entire time?
Oh man, there was some. How about they would do segments and they would do this old box instead of this old house.
Yes. remember
wait a minute.
the
We're a
little
true crime show, goddammit. What are we doing?
Can't help it. It can't help it.
what was the detective's name that Damon and the
Damon
thumb
Wayans?
detective, or remember the little detective dude?
Oh boy.
The thumb detective?
Yes, he was like,
Yeah, he was real small, like just.
and he was always
dang.
knocking him off the desk and flinking him
Yeah,
across
oh,
the
yeah,
room and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I can't
Yep.
remember. It was the two Wayans brothers that did it. That's true crime. They were detectives.
Yep.
But
There you go.
that was some of the greatest stuff, though, man. That was,
was.
you know, it just speaks to what would fly, you know, today when you look at that. And that was one of
Yeah.
the most popular shows on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember the street bum that carried around the pea jar?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He
That was
always
this
drunk.
old box.
That was
when-
yes, this
when he
old
would
box.
do this old box. It was Damon Wayans. would
Damon
do it.
Wayans. That was amazing.
Logan's like, what
Logan
the hell are
looks
you
lost.
old
He's like, what
crotchety
the
old
hell are
man?
you
It's like
talking
I don't
about?
even know.
Well, my favorite show, even older than that, is it definitely would not last today. All in the Family is still my favorite. That's
Oh
my
my
favorite
God.
comedy.
I thought you were going to say The Green Door. Or Baby Does
No.
This.
No, All in the Family is my favorite.
Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa.
One. Do you remember the show The Commish?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The commission.
Yeah.
I remember the
Good
commission.
show.
Michael.
Michael Chiklis.
Chiklis. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That was a good
Although
show.
the best, the Shield with Michael Chiklis was the shit. That was my show.
Here, let's see who
Shield.
catches. Does anybody remember? I'm sorry, Logan. I know you won't, but Hill Street Blues.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I still
Yep.
remember the theme
She's
song.
like, no,
Out
what's
there.
Hill Street? 21 Jump Street. I don't know what.
Oh,
Hill Street
21
Blues
Jump
was
Street.
like
New
the
one.
80s version of Law and Order.
Look, I can remember
The original.
Barney Miller. All right, so
Oh,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
going way back.
yes.
70s. Yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
All right, I can remember the Night Stalker.
Like,
the
oh my
Kochek.
God.
I remember
okay,
the
let's-
Night Stalker too.
I remember the Night Stalker. Oh yeah, the Night Stalker. Yeah. All right,
Oh
all
my
right.
God.
Sorry,
Good.
sorry.
That's really old. The Night Stalker. Yeah.
Richard Ramirez?
No,
was
that
a
was
TV
Well, no,
show.
see, that's awesome. That's so amazing.
All I know is
no,
mine.
time to
Sorry.
retire.
TV show.
serial killer. Yeah, that's awesome.
wow.
Someone just dropped Streets of San Francisco in the chat. That was Michael Douglas.
Yes.
Oh
boy.
yeah.
That's going way. That's 70s
Hill
right
Street
there
Blues.
too, man. That's
Fish.
real old
Yeah.
school.
Fish. Yeah.
Car
I'm Barney
54,
Miller.
where are you?
Yeah. Sorry,
Yep.
guys. Sorry.
Dragnet. Just the facts.
Yeah. So for Logan,
Doctor Who.
this is what we were talking about. Kolchak, the Night Stalker. It was a TV show well before your time. Yeah, not Richard Ramirez. However,
That was a great show.
It was.
That was a good
one.
guess though.
That was
Yeah.
sort of like the prerequisite to the X-Files.
Yeah.
'Cause it was always like
Absolutely.
yeah, because there was
weird-
always some new monster or something.
yeah,
or-
some really wacky shit.
What about the Hardy
Yeah.
Boys, Nancy Drew? Logan, did you get that? No. Oh my
Do you
god.
know what they are? I mean, you ever heard of them?
No.
Oh my god. That's how I got into it.
No.
JJ, I think they're. I think they have a new.
People.
They got a new X Files coming again.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Are they
Scary.
rebooting it?
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. I don't know who's playing, who's in it, but
If it's not David Duchovny and what's her name and Chris Carter's not writing for it, it's gonna suck. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I mean
So-
they're always trying to remake these
I know.
old amazing shows because they don't allow the writers. They don't want to pay new writers to write new things.
Right.
this is what Dago and I first bonded over, the fact that we
Yes.
had this blue book series of the
Yep.
Hardy Boy mysteries. Each one was a mystery book, and you know, this is what we both remembered having this collection of these books here.
This is what started it for us.
This is what started the true
So-
crime genre back when we were just itching our daddy's pants. Yeah, whatever.
Yes.
So, Dago, your answer: a new X-Files series is in development by Black Panther director Ryan Coogler, featuring a reimagined, diverse cast. The reboot is being developed for Disney.
Disney.
And aims to mix classic Monster of the Week episodes with overreaching conspiracies. So it's not gonna have the original cast.
Is JJ consulting on that?
He should be.
Yeah.
JJ's smoking, man.
Oh God, I was just gonna say, if you guys aren't careful, I'm gonna go conspiracy theory with the Smokey Man spinoff. The what was the show called that was the spinoff from the X-Files about with those characters? It was called
there was a spinoff.
Yes, there was a spinoff. And the pilot episode of that is a conspiracy theory fucking bombshell.
Well, do you know that the stuff that Carter wrote from that came from I read a whole thing on this, that a lot of that stuff was based on actual governmental files that they had.
Yeah.
There was a big deal about that because some of the stuff that he was writing about, they were getting pissed off about some of it. So
all right.
Did you guys watch that show, The Octopus Conspiracy or whatever it was?
Yes.
No. Yeah, that was yeah, with all the I saw that.
That was
yes.
that was crazy.
Oh yeah, are you ready for the conspiracy theory moment? I'll try to be brief. So
sure.
The Lone Gunman, these guys played Dungeons and Dragons, and they were just nerds on the X-Files show, right? They were kind of like this weird cast, right? And then they got their own spin-off show called The Lone Gunman. The conspiracy craziness that you need to look at yourself. The pilot episode, which is still available for you to find, of The Lone Gunman happened before September 11th, and it was about the government staging a hijacking of a commercial airplane and flying it into the World Trade Center to start an arms war in the Middle East. And that was what the feature episode, and they pulled that shit right off the air after 9/11 and said that fucking hit too close to home. But that was what the whole episode.
Yeah.
And they literally were talking about remote controlling the plane and flying it into the World Trade
They
Center
had
to start an arms war.
right. So they had that going on, and if I remember correctly, 24 was also delayed too.
Yeah.
Yes. Show 24 that is not that anything that happens in 24 has to do with 9/11, but the whole what 24 is about.
Mm-hmm.
That also
got, some people might say it's predictive programming where they're telegraphing things that are going to happen in the future, and it's happened with many scenarios where things are predicted and played out on TV shows and in movies.
And people are not going to have any idea what the fuck's going on in our show tonight. I wanted to mention this one more thing too. This movie was pulled off of every shelf in America right after 9/11 as well. The siege, which was talking about using the military against your American citizens and rounding them up and putting them in concentration camps where they looked for terrorist cells. In the United States. And that was pulled off of every shelf in America. And it's hard to find, I think, to this day.
And it's not such a bad idea to see how the public would react, to a certain thing.
Well, that's a lot. That's one of the theories behind it, is that they
Hollywood's
put things out.
Embedded in it. Yeah, Hollywood's embedded in it.
Right. Well, if you look at the history of Hollywood and the CIA, it runs deep. And it's, again, not my theory. If you look at the connections and think about it, you want to take the temperature of the public and you present these ideas, it implants seeds into the public. And then, because so many different things, I'm sure we could talk for an hour about movies and TV shows that predicted things.
I think we just did. It's 1 hour of the show, and all we did is talk about movies.
It's all Robin's fault. I blame Robin.
I think we did. Look, okay, so here's the thing. I'm enjoying this conversation. Logan, maybe not so much, because maybe we're talking about shit that she didn't even know existed. So there's that education. But I implore the chat to get us on track. If you guys got a question about the
I do have something to throw out at you guys.
Do it.
I don't know if you guys knew. Logan probably did, but in the Nancy Guthrie case, I heard today when I was I joined Kim this morning at Typically Unique, and then I had watched it. But did you guys know that when they did the Google searches on this, they come to find out that not only was Nancy Guthrie looked into back in January and March and I think June.
Yes.
Anderson Cooper and the dude from Fox, I can't think of his name.
Hannity.
Hannity.
Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity. They were looked into as well. Okay.
Yeah.
They looked into
Savannah's
salary. They looked into their salaries and a couple other little things, but like, tell me that's not weird.
Well, the only thing the devil's advocate answer to that though is that these people look up salaries all the time. That is true. Now, however, what is key to what they were talking about it yesterday. I saw a bunch of people mentioning it. What will be interesting to see is even if they don't know right away necessarily who looked it up, but if they could at least get info that these searches came from the same like IP address or the same thing, that would be something, because then it shows there's some kind of pre-planning and how this all actually could be really big, because if it is from like the same, if some of this is from the same IP address or the same place, now they can go back looking at like March or June, and maybe some of these idiots that did this stuff, maybe they actually went around the house or went around the area, and there's probably a good chance that they did not have a mask on, that they weren't, they were just going around the area. So that it could be a really big lead. So
absolutely. I just thought it was wild, because if it were true, like you said, if it comes to be
right,
and it seems to me that like the choice was because this was the easiest target. If that's the choice, she's an 84-year-old woman. If that's what they're going to do, it'd be probably the easiest scenario to get to somebody that you could actually do something with. You know what I mean?
They said they were trying to look. They said they have a search where someone like 2 or 3 weeks before this happened, they were trying to find like floor plans or something for the house. So that is a why would you need floor plans to the house? But again, all the other searches, it sounds like it could be something really big, but it really, like, if they can prove, if they have the evidence that it shows that it's the same 1 or 2 IP addresses, or I mean, then it definitely shows evidence of some kind of pre-planning.
Exactly.
What else?
Good stuff.
Did you know that, Logan?
No, I didn't.
I'm shocked.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 days. So one was in June, right? One was like 2 or 3 weeks before. One was like in June, and then I think one was like in March or something. And they said it's like 3 different times. Yeah.
Well, that's the January one is why they said that they were asking for like videos of the area.
Yeah.
Because they were seeing if there was anybody out there.
Right. And they're probably looking, anyone that's over there that has the Nest or Ring camera in that area, they're gonna look to see at prior, like all these different times now. Like
and Brian made his way over the border today too. I saw that. They're in Mexico.
I wish they would release some video from the other camera, or if there was more than one person, which we think they probably was, I wish they would release all the pictures of all of them.
Well, just like with the Charlie KIRK situation, they still haven't released they had video of the rooftop where the alleged shooter was, and they still haven't released the actual part where they take the shot, because supposedly took the shot.
And why would they not show us that? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
they have it. Candace Owens was going. That was one of the things she asked the lawyer.
Yeah.
When she met with Erica. They have it.
Yeah, they have everything. But why wouldn't they show it? Well, fuckery. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the whole Nancy Guthrie thing, I said it would drag on. and I still think it will drag on. And I said that they were doing a lot of pushing the Bitcoin narrative and the surveillance narrative. Now, the question is, the old saying, never let a good crisis go to waste. Is it that? Yep. Or do you create a crisis so you can implement agendas and push agendas? Now, most people would say, oh, it's just, taking advantage of a crisis. Well, historically, if you really look at the history of things, crises are often created so that agendas can be forwarded.
Yeah, it's yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
it's just weird that came out.
So now that I've interrupted you, I was going to say it's you're using the conspiracy language, right? The don't let a good crisis go to waste, but it's also the problem, reaction, solution model, which is you create a problem, you wait for people to react, and then you come in with your preloaded solution to the problem. And in a lot of ways, to get conspiratorial again, 9/11 felt that way. They had written the entire gigantic bill of how to deal with the thing, and it was ready to go. And then 9/11 happens, and they rush in with here's the solution. Give us unprecedented spy powers on all Americans, and we can stop this from ever happening again. So then you have to ask yourself, did the problem get created so they could get our reaction and then rush in with the solution they always wanted us to have in the first place, which is mass surveillance, total control of everything? We need to have it to keep you safe. Surrender your security, and we'll keep you safe.
Right. And I'll make another prediction, and you can all shit on me. I welcome it if I'm wrong.
You're into that kind of thing.
You can all take shots at me, and I'll take it. The proverbial shitting on me, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Whoa. So basically, I believe that they're gonna say, oh, if we really had a better, surveillance type situation in place with a linking of all the surveillance videos and access to everybody's surveillance videos, and they're not going to do it in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month. They do this over time because they have to basically desensitize people to the idea. So they do it in increments, and now I'm going to tell you the background why I'm saying this. Whitney Webb does a whole thing about how BlackRock and all these big behemoth banks are investing in Bitcoin, right? And they're going to push it as currency for like a global type currency. This is already happening. This is not conspiracy, right? So what happens is you have a situation where they keep bringing up, they send another. Oh, but this time it's not Bitcoin, it's other type of crypto. See, and I sent one thing on Discord saying they're either going to try to push Bitcoin or crypto, or demonize a particular crypto and push another like surveillable CBDC. So the reason I say these things is because of the bigger picture stuff that's going on, and the media is already pushing the surveillance angle. And I believe they're going to keep pushing the crypto angle. Now, they're smart. These people are really smart. So I don't know what direction they're going to go with it. But I just think it's going to get stretched, and Othram Labs will be right there to jump in, and they're going to keep pushing Othram Labs like, oh, if we had a database for everybody, a mandatory, type of biometric database, then we could solve these crimes immediately. So that's my prediction. That's the direction that it's going to go. I think it's still going to drag on, so they have more time to push these talking points.
Well, they tried that during the Super Bowl. I mean, with that commercial, and we pushed back. The people pushed back, and that's if we don't want this to happen, then that's what we're exactly going to have to keep doing, is keep pushing back against this crap that the vast majority of us really do not want. But we have to be vocal about it, and that's what made Amazon drop their, contract with Flock, was because of the backlash that on both sides of the aisle. So if we want to not have these things take place, then we have to be vocal about it.
Agreed. What about you, Logan? You got any new news or anything exciting that you learned or wanted to throw out today?
Oh, she's muted, so she's talking, but she...
Sorry. I'm trying to think of what we went over earlier. No, I was trying to earlier on my live, we were trying to look at blood spatter in Xana's room or prints in the floor and compare them to maybe some shoes that we saw on some people. Gotcha. And then also, you guys would have to look as well, but when we see the suspect vehicle 1 coming in and out, I don't see silver rims on the car.
There's not. No.
And I'm wondering if the wheels are all black, because if they are, we saw a vehicle with those wheels that's white at the grub truck. So I don't know. That's all we were looking at today.
I mean, those are big things, and
how does that match? I don't. That's interesting. How does that match to the car that was in that accident?
Yeah, the one in
the wheel,
the Oregon car.
Did the Oregon car have rims, like silver rims?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I can't either.
This is the part that bothers me. I agree we need to keep asking these questions, but the part that bothers me is the answer is always going to be he pled guilty. So why the fuck are you guys even talking about this still? Like, why are you arguing about whether suspect vehicle 1 has fog lights or not? He pled guilty. It's over. Like, well, that's the narrative they're trying to get you. It doesn't matter if any of the facts actually prove to be incorrect. I mean, he pled guilty. It's over.
The answer is read the book Framed, and we keep bringing it up every day.
Well, but I saw something. I don't know if you guys saw this that was going around. I think it was Reddit. It might have been YouTube. It could have been YouTube. That someone was presenting the case that it was definitely the undercover car that they played with the video. They manipulated the video to change the coloring and things like that at a given time. And I don't know. If that was the case, let's say it was the little Ford, whatever that little car they were driving that night. What do you think the reasoning is that they don't want that to get out? Do you think it's MPD involvement? Do you think it's something else? What are your guys' takes on that?
I think it's, we know about the contract between MPD and the school. Is it possible that, could there be some officers that had some kind of drug connection or something? And it's like when it happens, that happens where I work, people getting, they get involved in this crazy stuff with guns and drugs, and once they do it once they are given in, then they own you. Once you give up your integrity, then they can't stop. They're trapped. Is it possible? Could that happen? Sure, but I think it's more likely that there was some kind of we know that Homeland Security, we know there was some kind of drug operation with O'Neill and all these other entities that were involved. So there's definitely a drug thing going on through that town or that area. I think it's more likely that covering up the embarrassment that you had this was right under their watch. Like, how could a murder happen right under their watch? And they're trying to hide everything possible, that they weren't, even though they were right there. I mean, how many, we know that the unmarked was parked right near one of the apartments. How could they not hear this? Even if you were like, oh, the screams that we hear at 2:30, it's some other fight or something. Why is there nothing about that? Why is there no documentation? Like, there should be something about that if it has nothing to do with the murders.
Well, that's the problem with that. Is
right.
But I had mentioned that all that noise going on, nobody called the police. And then like there was always what is that called when you get called for sound to being too loud? Noise complaints. Sorry.
It's yeah.
Always, but they didn't do it that night.
But even
the perpetually barking dog or all the screaming and yelling going on. Nobody called because of that. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's why, you know, just to go off the side there on the dog barking. I know Lana, I know what she believes. I saw her video about the dog bark. That's why I tend to believe that she's more in the right, that the dog barking at 417, I don't think is Murphy.
Oops.
Because if if that dog was Murphy, then what is it? The Moyes, however you say their name,
Moye.
the Moye from behind. They already have a history of call. We know they call noise complaints at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. This is now 4:17, whatever, 4:20 in the morning. The dog is barking for 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
45.
You're gonna tell me he's not gonna call someone there is not gonna call 911? Right. Absolutely, they would. You look at pattern of behavior, but why would he not call 911? Because it's his dog. You're not gonna call. You're not gonna call noise complaint on your own dog.
Right.
However,
it makes sense.
You know, but it's a little odd because did they take the dog out to go to the bathroom and it was cold, like, so they let the dogs out there for it's weird. It is weird, but you do see a car that leaves at the top. Yeah. You know, if you watch, and then once you hear two dogs barking, two different dogs, and when that car leaves at what is it, like 4:55 or 4:54 or something like that?
Yeah.
All of a sudden the barking stops.
Right. Oh. And somebody did, by the way, Logan said that the Oregon car did have silver rims.
Yeah.
There you go.
I looked it up as soon as we mentioned it.
Nice. So does it matches exactly?
The wheels definitely did. But I wanted to go back to that other thing you said though, Logan, with that other car that was at the grub truck that we saw in the secondary released bank video where they show Maddie and Kaylee walking to the grub truck from the opposite side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a white car that pulls in right there, you guys, and it's like 17 people get out of it. Okay. It was like a clown car. And I've wondered about that vehicle and all the people that are in it. It pulls right up there next to the bank. People start getting out of it. They go over to the truck at some point, whatever, and then they come back. That car, to me, and I think it does have black wheels or black rims, but it's sitting right there. Like, why was that car never brought into question? It's a completely white car. It looks like it could be an Elantra. I can't tell exactly, but it's definitely something that should have been brought into question. And there's like literally probably 5, maybe 6 people that get out of that car. So it just made me wonder, like, even back then when I first saw that secondary video, like, who's that? Why are they not looking at that? Why was that not brought up? You know?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember early on in the case, there was like a lot of videos going around where they were trying to look at the reflection in the windows by the grub truck?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was like a thread that was going around early on in the case to try to say, wait, what does that car look like going? Yeah. Pull on that thread. That was early on. And it was, because this before they caught anybody or Coburg or whatever.
Right.
And they were, people were like analyzing the reflections and things like that.
Were the tail lights too, JJ, that came up. That there was, and I know I saw them because somebody sent me the video. Mustang tail lights.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, and it's a definite. You guys know what a Mustang looks like. The tail lights are very specific, just like on a Jeep.
Right.
You know what they look like, and they're absolutely Mustang tail lights.
I know exactly, dude. I totally remember exactly what you're talking about because I was watching those videos because we didn't know anything at that point.
Right.
And so after all this time, we look at how many things, and the question still comes up because there could be multiple reasons why the cover up, right? It could be there was a CI in the house. They didn't want it to get out to the public that someone that was working with the school potentially and local police was killed, and then there was collateral damage on top of that.
Right.
The CI scenario, that's a pretty plausible one.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But it's just like, it's so fucked up, man. That the mainstream media does the dirty work to cover things up, and they do it all the time.
Definitely.
There's no there's not a single real investigative journalist on all of the mainstream media. Not one.
Right.
No. And it really seems, the more stuff that kind of is coming out, it really seems like they were really going to try to pin this on Kopacka. Kopacka was going to be like we still don't know whether he had any involvement or not. I think he was going to be the fall guy.
Logan's got her hand up.
Another thing we talked about earlier today on my live was if Dylan and Bethany were downstairs in Bethany's room for 8 hours or more, and the heat wasn't working and the doors were open, there would be condensation on her window. There would be condensation on most of the windows in the house, but specifically on her window, there is no frost, no condensation, no nothing, which tells me I don't think they were in that room or there.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point,
breathing,
we could probably all just shit all over the official narrative and say most of what we've been told is total horseshit.
Right.
I mean,
they wouldn't have been able, even the smell of all the bodies, there's no way that they would have been able to stay in that house.
I'll say this about that.
degrees in there.
The temperature is a problem.
Yeah.
But if they kept the door shut and stayed in there, the smell can be alleviated because it's on different floors. That I'll say to an extent. But all that other stuff, like, that's the biggest thing I think that they have forgotten about within what they're doing with this case is the small details. Okay. They put the big picture out the way they wanted it to be, in my opinion, of course, but they didn't calculate in the small details, and definitely did not calculate in all of us that are going to go, what about this, that, this, and that? There's no explanation for any of that shit. They just say, oh, just trust us, bro, and look at the big picture. Don't look at that stuff. And that's where the problem lies with this case, in my opinion. So
yeah, I mean, they still won't even give us an official timeline of when Ethan and Xana got home, and this is not something that should be hard to figure out.
Well, they can't say they don't know it now because we know that.
No, I'm just saying they tell us they put out that they don't know, but
that's what I'm saying. They can't say they don't know now because we know that they had Xana's data,
right,
and Maddie, so they know where Xana was. Typically, where Xana was, Ethan was. So
Oh, another thing I found earlier today was, I don't know if the white phone is Ethan's phone or Xana's phone, but what I'm going to say, it doesn't really matter. It was on the pink comforter, and all around the phone was blood spatter, but there's not one drop of blood spatter on that white phone. So that white phone was put there after the fact.
Nice. Yeah.
Right before as soon as I got home, I was looking on Reddit, and I looked at the picture again, because it popped up on Reddit of what was supposed to be Xana, the one that slipped through the cracks, so to speak.
Right.
Man, that does not look like a female. I've looked at it a million times, and I still, no matter what, I just look at it and I see a male face. So whether it's Ethan or it's another person, or it's a totally bogus photo, I don't know. But I keep looking at it, and every time I look at it, I see a male face.
I wanted to bring up this the other day, and I think I forgot. With you bringing that up, JJ, is it possible, you guys, we all know about the mysterious accidental drop where all these weird things happened that weren't supposed to, and then they yanked it back real quick? Is it possible that was done on purpose?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this the other night, and I
Did we
think
actually? Maybe we did then. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
we did because
Okay.
we were talking about this exact same thing about remember
Sorry.
the picture. But
Yeah.
I look, you know what I think. I don't. Do I even need to say it? I mean, he manipulate the public because a lot of times the manipulation, it has nothing to do with a specific. Oftentimes, a specific theory they want to push. Oftentimes, it's to confuse people, keep them focusing on things, keep them arguing about things, keep them looking at things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think that whenever that kind of a thing happens, I'm always suspicious that there were other motives for doing it.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point. Very good point. Somebody just said in chat too, and I thought that was something that was interesting too, is that we were told that Ethan was on the bed, Xana was on the floor, okay? But it's been brought up many times. I've seen it in my chats and other channels' chats as well, that Ethan's phone was on the floor and Xana's phone was on the bed. So I know that sounds dumb to talk about that, but it is kind of interesting in my opinion. Like, how did that work out? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say.
I mean, that's kind of just an odd. I know it sounds ridiculous to bring something like that up, but
no.
The way that things that's what I'm talking about, is little things like that make you go, what the hell happened here? You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. There needs to be, to me, that has to happen is there needs to be enough of a tipping point, a big enough thing. Because right now you've got a bunch of little shit that doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And no one is going to overturn the conviction or relook at it or take it seriously on any of those little things.
No,
it's going to take something major, a major change, and then they'll relook at all those little things everybody's been talking about and go, wait a minute, well, what about this and what about that? So I feel like all the little things are premature to talk about the little things, only because it's going to require a massive thing. And I think the massive thing that we've talked about, that almost all of us agree, the massive thing could be Cy-Ray.
Yeah.
If Cy-Ray can prove that Brian Koberger was never even in Moscow that night, it's going to make everything be re-examined. But I don't know.
I still think that the only way we're ever going to get the truth in this case is if down the road we will get closer to the truth. But the only way that we're going to get a disclosure is that at some point, and it might be years down the road, somebody's going to come forward when the dust is completely settled and release a piece of information that's going to be very, very critical to opening up a whole new sight picture of what's going on. Because Foxy just said in the chat, I caught her comment that this whole case was about the whole DNA, pushing the whole DNA thing. Mm-hmm. Now, again, it goes back to, never let a good crisis go to waste, or, problem, reaction, solution. It's, you have to ask those questions, because anything, in my opinion, that the mainstream media is involved in, where they're all on board with a narrative, makes me question situations. Because just statistically, I've said it before, what are the chances that not one person in the mainstream media of the larger mainstream media and the larger online people like Megyn Kelly and so on, there's not one of them that is questioning the official narrative?
I got a question for you guys. That's a good point, JJ. Very huge point. And coming off the back of that, because I feel like it's going to happen. I do feel like this is going to happen. But when mainstream media catches up finally, and it's okay for them to talk about the truth, okay, or expose the hard questions per se, how do you think that's going to unfold, you guys? Do you think it's going to be like, we're going to go to bed one night and they're on one point, and then we're going to wake up the next morning and the whole thing's just going to be different, like nothing happened?
My cynicism says, because it was kind of to JJ's thing, is when it's going to, the truth will come out when the key people have retired. So when Bill Thompson's retired and his career is settled, when Hitler has finished his run and whatever, then after everybody who really has a vested interest in losing their entire careers as safe and protected and has retired, then it'll be like, oh, I guess in this old case something was done wrong. But everybody's going to get protected first. We have to wait until everybody retires, everybody moves on to their nice cushy job and pensions, and then they'll be like, okay, now that nobody's around to hold accountable. Yeah, maybe some mistakes were. Let's relook at that case now that nobody's around to hold accountable.
Wasn't there something that Fry was saying that they made some mistakes in the investigation? Wasn't that?
Yeah, that just came out.
That was going around. I didn't watch it yet.
It doesn't go deep enough, but it does. Yeah. It scratches the surface of that. Yeah. Little by little, things like this are going to start filtering out, in my opinion, till it gets to a point where it's going to pop out a little bit more, I think.
I don't want to steal my own thunder for tomorrow's video, but I keep seeing people talking about tomorrow's video. People are talking about the coach and the Philadelphia Eagles, and so that's my tomorrow's video. People, like, I don't know what the fuck's everybody talking about my video, but you're talking about my fucking video tomorrow.
I remember that being a big deal for a little while, like one point in the case, the coach and his wife and blah blah blah. So yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of this stuff you've heard before, but then when you go back and look at it now with some new fresh eyes again, and like, oh, because that's what happened to me is I'm like, I heard this story. In fact, I even read it in the ISP documents, but it didn't catch fire until I saw the latest Kopaka body camera footage, and then I was like, oh shit, I need to go back and relook at the police reports. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, the reports on that whole thing were kind of weird by themselves alone. I remember questioning those when I was reading them. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're totally weird by themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Makes you wonder how many things we've forgotten that are weird that we just never really followed up with. And then you're like, wait a minute, why didn't we? Like, we knew something was weird when we saw this. Why didn't we follow up? Like, you had to pull that thread.
I am constantly saying we need to take a walk back and look at this from the beginning in different aspects. Now that we know what we know. And every time I do it or we do it, there's something new I figure out or learn or see that I didn't see, or I see it different now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you guys remember really early on, the Gonzalez family was saying, oh, they saw a video of the girls arriving at home. That's a major thing.
Right. If that video exists, where is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even fathom how, if that exists, how come it was never shown? Because you would want, when they were in the beginning, we're asking for help from the public with any information. Showing that video, were you around when they came home? Did anybody in the area see them walking into the house, etc.? Nothing.
That's because I don't think it exists, JJ. I think that was another ploy to try to force people to believe in something. If we say we saw it on video, guess what? They're going to think we saw it on video, and it worked. Yep. You know, it worked for a lot of people.
The further down the road we've gone talking about Idaho 4, the more I'm thinking major fuckery beyond what we even imagine. And it's so hard because there's been so much, like, to your point, Dago, you'd have to almost go back and literally look at every single thing and all the inconsistencies and map it out and figure out for each inconsistency, what is the relevance of this inconsistency.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I did a little bit of that a while back, where I went back and we rewatched most of the Gonzalez interviews. There were so many of them.
Yeah.
And it was after a lot of the documents stuff dropped and reports were dropped and new audio and stuff. So I'm like, what? Like, this is completely, you read it differently and you take it differently now when you have this other information. And then you see things that are like blatant lies. Why was this said? Well, then you learn why and how and who and all that. And it's like, this is absolutely like fiction. The whole thing is a fictional story almost. Okay. when is it like, why is this okay that this continuously keeps happening? Nobody's calling it out. Nobody's like trying to shut it down. They just keep allowing it to happen and happen and happen. And again, there's no accountability. There's lies being told repeatedly, one after another, and nobody says a word except for us, of course.
Except for us.
And you know what, man? The least conspiratorial thing I can think of in this case, we talked about earlier. They knew there were major drugs running through that area, and they didn't want it to get out, that they were aware of it and still allowed it to happen. And so they had to create this completely crazy narrative, the lone gunman narrative, you know, this incel guy, weird guy, who didn't like women and et cetera and so on. Because to me, if we had to pull an Occam's razor approach to this, that would be it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I have other threads that I think the Kopacka one has significance within that.
Yeah. He may not have even been their first choice. Kopacka.
Well, and it's definitely starting to come way more to,
and they may even spin it. And they, you know, now that you got Howard Bloom and these other people saying, oh, there's all this evidence, there definitely was a second killer. I mean, I could easily see them just spinning the narrative eventually if there's enough, and they'll somehow try to manufacture something saying that, oh yeah, the second killer was Kopacka, but he's dead, he's not alive, you know, so there's nothing to even do with it. I could see them doing that.
I can agree with that one. Definitely. Most definitely.
Deep thoughts with Jack Handy.
You're super quiet tonight. You haven't said a lot.
Remember, I started the show doing nothing but talking, and you guys were all quiet. I just flipped roles. That's all. I let you guys catch up a little. I was all over talking. I was speed talking at the beginning.
To answer Michelle's question, I don't discount anything, Michelle, at this point. So it could be. It absolutely could be. I mean, I don't know for sure, as none of us do with any of it, but it could be, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I just there's so many different I guess little stories within the big story with this, and I think that's what needs to be sorted out the most, in my opinion, is all the little things that need to be stretched out, and you know what I mean, and worked out before anything could come.
I still want to know who Dylan added as a contact on her phone. We don't have that.
I just want to see their phones, period, all of them.
Yeah, but I wonder who his contact is. Who is his contact?
Their phones.
There should be no reason at this point, Logan. The case is closed.
Right. The case is closed, and in any other case, we get screenshots of what's. I mean, look at Kopacka's case. We got screenshots of what's in his phone. Why can't we get that with the victims in this case? The case is closed anyways. We should be able to get it for the roommates too. And
everybody.
Why is everything so secretive? And they are treating this case so much different than any other case.
Why are they still redacting people's faces that we know exactly who they are and what role they played or didn't play? They're redacting faces we've been seeing and talking about for years now, and now all of a sudden they're blurred.
Right.
Logan, I have a question for you. Give me your top 2 theories on the Idaho 4 case, because I've listened to your show and you go into a lot of detail, but on here I don't think I've ever heard you know, at least I haven't say.
Are you saying she's holding back on us and not telling us how she really feels on us yet? All right.
For her show.
No, I've never really thrown out like an actual theory out there. I don't think. I think that obviously there's 2 or more people. I think they were in there before they got, the victims got home. I think the perpetrators were there before the victims got home. I don't know yet if I am settled on like what time it was, because we definitely hear noises at 2:20 something that doesn't sound like party noises to me.
Right.
And that's, I don't know. I think Kaylee was on the 2nd floor and was knocked out there, and then carried back up to Maddie's room and put in Maddie's bed along with Kaylee's phone. I think Ethan was sleeping, and that's why he didn't fight back. That's why there's only one plate in Xana's room.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say that Ethan was sleeping. And the reason I can say that, even though he had a high level of amphetamines in his system, is because what if he had undiagnosed ADHD? Then he would be sleeping off that medicine.
Sure.
He doesn't have blood on his socks, on the bottom of the socks. So
that's a good point, too. Real quick, thank you, Sausage Biscuits, for the super chat. Says Hunter Chapin is seen with his phone in the body cam footage in his front hoodie pocket. Nobody ever looked at his phone. Good point.
Hunter Chapin had 2 phones in his front hoodie pocket.
Why is that?
That's wild.
That's what I've always wondered.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Well, somebody in the chat just a little bit ago said that Xana had a black phone and another phone.
Okay, there you
go. And Amanda's like, it's a white phone. Yeah.
What phone was in Xana's car? Okay, there was a phone in Xana's car on the seat that had a cracked screen on it that they had logged as evidence and took pictures of. And then there's 2 phones in her bedroom with her. So who did the one in the car belong to?
And there's also a type of phone that's called a black phone because it can't be traced or it can't be can't be surveilled. And who would want a phone like that?
Her old
Joe, you know what's funny about that? You know what's funny? The black phone. So I'm a security buff. I've got secrets. I want to keep my secrets. So I was like, I did a search one time. What's the most secure phone in existence? And they said, it's the black phone. And I said, great, I want to buy one. Illegal in the United States. The black phone is illegal to purchase in the United States.
Unless you buy one from Eric Prince from Blackwater.
That must mean that because the government can't listen in on your calls.
Right, because apparently it's got encryption level above. Remember, I told you it's illegal in the United States to have an encryption level.
DA, you're speaking my language. I looked at every black type phone that you could buy.
You can buy it in Europe.
Yeah. I'll take it to the next level. Yeah. I actually have a little portable operating system that you can upload onto a phone, onto a computer that is a separate operating system that's not connected to the main operating system of a computer. And I got it from, I found out about it from a book written by a Navy SEAL, how they would, when they would be doing like secret ops and things like that, if they needed to find information, and the CIA, obviously, a lot of the Navy SEALs were CIA contractors. So if you're in a location, an undisclosed location, and you don't want a foreign government or another intelligence agency to see what you're communicating, they would make they had this little operating system that you could separately upload.
Yeah. And along that lines, if you're doing an operation, you create an ad hoc network. It's your own your backpack is a network and your phones in the area all connect to that network, and it's completely off the grid. It's its own little cellular network. And that's how you hide things too, is you use your own operating system and you stay completely off of an ad hoc network that's all by itself. And that's how you stay off the grid.
Well, when I worked for the CIA, they taught me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that,
JJ.
JJ.
You that at the CIA.
When you worked, yeah,
back in the day when I worked for the CIA.
Past tense, not present.
Yeah, no, I retired.
I still want to know who hung up the Ford Explorer car keys inside 1122, and then who was driving it and where did they go?
You have so many fucking questions, Logan.
What do you mean?
Who was driving the Explorer, because they hung up the Explorer keys inside 1122 King Road, but who was driving it because they're not there anymore.
See, I would okay. I have questions about that vehicle to begin with, and I have had them because I can't get it square in my mind, because I think it was Pav that swore, and no disrespect to him, but
Ethan's or Hunter's vehicle.
Yeah. Okay. Because, but if you listen to Eric Gower, which again, I know that's not a reliable source either, he states in his report the written part of the report, I believe it was that vehicle was there when he picked the girls up at 10, whatever it was, and it was in the same spot when he came back and dropped them off at 156. So, did that vehicle move?
He wasn't talking about the Explorer. He was talking about a black SUV that was parked on the street or behind a silver car. That's what he was talking about.
Then I completely misheard that then. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing with this whole case.
This
is the thing with the whole case. It's like the Steve Gonzalez telling us the phone call, the phone call with Kaylee was the night before because you don't read carefully enough. And it's like all of what house are we talking about? What night are we talking about? Like all of those questions are easy to get confused, and it gets worse as time goes by, not better.
So what do you think then? Like, I'm glad that we're having this conversation because like I said, I misunderstand that whole thing, and I've never been like 100% understandable about that. What do you think, Logan, the deal is with the Explorer? Like, what it could have been used for, who was in it, why, when, and where?
I'm honestly, I don't know, but somebody was driving it. It came in at 4:29. At some point, not only because we see it on the camera, but somebody did a like you can hear how far the car is driving and where it went to, and then it stopped, and then you heard like a car door or whatever, something like that. So somebody proved that it stopped at 1122. And
no, I know what okay.
So but the keys are hanging up inside right when you open the door. So who was driving it at 4:30, hung the keys up, and then left?
Okay, so this is where
and then left.
Right. That's where I'm skeptical. Let me put it that way. Because that car, the one you're talking about is the one that comes around the corner. It's got a really loud exhaust system on it, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, I didn't think that was that vehicle. That vehicle that with the really loud exhaust, you can watch the taillights in the window of the house across the street. It comes up, you can hear it.
1119, right?
Yeah, and it comes up and it sounds like it slows down. It almost sounds like it's parking because it pulls in from what it sounds like, I should say. Like it's pulling in and then it's like readjusting or something, and then it stops, and then either the video cuts off or the vehicle shuts off. And that's when the dog starts going apeshit, barking. A dog starts going crazy barking when that vehicle pulls up that way. So I didn't think it was the one in the Explorer, because I don't know why that doesn't match up for me. That exhaust system on that vehicle just didn't line up for me. So
come on, you guys, Pav solved this already.
I know.
It was a BMW X5 or X something, that crossover with loud exhaust on it.
Yeah, custom exhaust, and yeah.
And then it was, and I think he solved it again, and it was Hunter's truck with an aftermarket exhaust.
Yeah,
that was the second time he solved it.
I just didn't think that was the thing. That vehicle was the one with the really loud ass exhaust on it, but I mean, it very well could be, I guess.
Okay, well, at some point, somebody drove the Ford Explorer, parked it there, and hung the keys up inside and left. It doesn't matter what time it was.
Yeah, right.
Why did they do that? Where are they at? And because it wasn't Maisie, because she was asleep or going to sleep at 9 or whatever. And Hunter claimed that he went to sleep at 10. But that car wasn't there. The car wasn't there when Eric Gower dropped them off. So
you mean at 156 when he dropped them off, or when he picked them up?
When he dropped them off.
Logan, do you work for the CIA?
No. Ew.
See, I can't get I can't get that thing figured out in my head either. I guess that's probably why we ask these questions.
By the way, before I forget, because I keep one asked a question the other night, and I forgot to mention this about the Kopaka shooting and where the blood was. Like when they saw the picture of the room, they're like, well, where's the blood from the sniper hitting Kopaka? Mm-hmm. Like there's no blood on the wall. And I just wanted to mention one. It was interesting. In the video that I watched on the members only live today, they breached the door of room C with a ram and broke a hole in it. They busted that bottom part of the door down. And then they put a camera inside the room to look for Kopaka. And they couldn't find him for the longest time. And they kept talking about, he must be lower, look lower. And somebody said, is there any blood spatter on the wall anywhere? And they're like, nope. And I was like, oh, it's 1-1's question. Like, where the fuck is this blood spatter on the wall?
Nice.
They're like, nope.
I mean, I just think the one thing about Kopaka that is to me a really major thing is the indirect connection we speculate on with him and Payne. And it just seems so unusual the way everything went down with Kopaka, and that oh, by the way, if you look into it, it just so happens that him and Payne were in the same combat unit, and it just still don't have the answer to what was Kopaka doing there.
Yeah.
Like, why was this guy who was how old was he? Like 30, early 30s?
32.
36. Oh, I thought it was 36.
I'm sorry.
36. He's living in a college town. Why? Like, what brought him to that area? Because that's an important.
That's the question. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what? Nobody seems to have the answer. Like,
maybe he likes college girls.
Yeah, I mean, but like you still, I mean, there still has to be something that takes a person to a place. You know somebody there, you have a job lined up or something.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly. You don't just go to a random area because you'd want to have a friend there, which I've theorized maybe he did have a friend there, but but I get busted in the balls when I mention that one.
Can I go back to the truck again?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is driving me nuts. Was there something stated, because I'm forgetting a lot of stuff too now. Was there something stated about somebody driving for a few people to go to the Hunga Nunga thing? Does anybody remember that? Who it was that drove?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to. Go ahead.
Logan said the car. This is what's been. So I don't know this story enough, and I've been reluctant to say something. But Logan said the car comes back at 429, and that struck in my head because suspect vehicle 1 speeds off at 420, right? So it's almost as if whoever showed up after the cleaning crew leaves.
Yeah.
Right. So the crime's over. The cleaning crew leaves at high speed at 420, and then someone arrives at the scene now that the cleanup is done to establish the what are we going to go with now story. That's what makes me think somebody returned to the house. Like, did somebody leave the house that was supposed to be in the house and returned to the house after the cleanup was done, or something to that effect?
Or doesn't Bethany have like a Snapchat or something that was like late 420s? So I know that's like one of the possible like rumors they were saying. Did she possibly contact Hunter? And Hunter came, went there, and then Hunter, Chapin picked up Bethany and possibly Dylan, and they left the house at 4:20.
No, actually, that's not what I meant. I was meaning, and thank you for that, though. What I was meaning is I thought I remember hearing that somebody had to drive, and I think it might be the Black Explorer that I heard, Logan. That's why I was asking that, because I'm trying to work this out in my head still. Because that's a great question, which you asked, like, how did the keys get there? Who drove, when, why, and how? You know what I mean? So I swear I remember hearing somebody say that somebody had to drive them to that, whatever that event was, I think, at that point in the night. But here's the thing. Xana and Ethan, we don't have a timeline for, so I'm trying to wonder, or I guess I'm trying to wonder if that makes any sense. Do you think they could have driven it and then they were there and nobody knew that? Or
no, Ethan was driving the Jeep. Those keys were there, because if he wasn't driving the Jeep and he was driving the Ford Explorer, then one of his siblings would have the Jeep keys, and they didn't have it.
But the Jeep was broke down. The Jeep couldn't be driven anywhere, which is what I was trying to get to. Like, the Jeep wasn't able to move. It hadn't moved in a while. So I thought maybe they took the Explorer, because it belonged to the Chapins. We know that much.
Right.
So the Jeep had a dead battery and a flat tire or something like that, so they couldn't use the Jeep. So maybe that's what I was trying to see. Was it something that Ethan and Xana took from earlier, brought back, and then whatever happened, or
it's possible, but then Ethan and Xana are coming home after the fact. In my mind, in my opinion.
Did Hunter and Maisie walk over in the morning from the Whites, or where did they come from?
I think it was the Whites.
Didn't they walk up on the crime scene? They walked up through that walkway from the Whites.
Yeah. Yep.
So is it possible that Hunter Chapin was there at 429?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And I know
that's what I'm saying.
And
did they arrive at 429 and go to the White's apartment, but they parked at 112 and then walked back to 112 in the morning?
That's what they're trying to fight. They're trying to argue that they don't want body camera stuff released because maybe the Chapin family knows that Hunter was there at 429.
Because the keys were hung up inside 1122.
Yeah, they were hanging on that photograph.
And then walk to the Whites. That wouldn't make sense.
Which is weird. Why would you walk in, hang the keys inside that house, and then go to this house? Right.
If you're trying to establish something that you were there or something like that, like that's the question. Were you trying to establish you were there, but you weren't there?
Mama J said Hunter walked up and Maisie pulled up in a white car.
Yeah.
Hunter walked up and Maisie pulled up in a white car. Okay, I thought they walked up together.
No, she came about 10, 15 minutes after him, and it was some weird, not weird, but it's like a white Nissan or something. She left parked down the road a little bit.
Mm.
Why hasn't the two things that where like Ethan and Xana, they weren't traced very much when this stuff was being reported initially. Like, okay, they went from here to there and they went to this party and then that party. That was kind of skirted, right? You guys remember? I don't recall media.
Yeah, they're keeping it hidden.
They went to the Sigma Chi thing. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I'm wrong. They went to the Sigma Chi thing, and then they went to the Hunga Dunga thing, and then went back to Sigma Chi, and then left again. Is that right?
I just remember seeing video of them walking up on one of the surveillance cameras that was like maybe Linda Lane. A car pulls up, a bunch of people get out and walk into the Linda Lane place where there was like
that's
a party.
Like 12:30. Yeah, that's like 12:30 or something. That's early.
Is that Ethan and Xana?
It looks like Ethan. I know what he's talking about.
The one where the guy tips his hat sideways and kind of blocks.
It's early. Yeah, it's like 12:30 around there.
But like you would want to trace where victims were.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like any investigation, that's like one of the core things you do. You have to trace their steps.
I would argue unless you're MPD, because MPD didn't seem to give a fuck where the kids were all the night before or who they were saying. They viewed it as not relevant. So they didn't really give a shit where they were doing and who they were texting and who were they talking to in the hours leading up to the murder.
Damn it, Logan, you did it again. My brain is like squishing again, trying to like figure.
Who got the new member, by the way? Somebody's got this new member hanging out.
We both got one.
Huh?
We both got one.
I think I got one too. Yeah.
Nice.
Welcome, Aquarian. Congrats, and thank you for jumping in the sauce with us.
Yes.
You do this to me almost every night. You realize that? Did you give one topic for me to like? I go nuts trying to figure it out. I love that you do that.
I'm still going nuts and trying to figure that one out too.
Right. I'm sitting here like, what the hell does what? She's
Who said the Jeep was broke down? I don't remember hearing that.
That came out in the really early.
I remember hearing that
in the police reports.
Something I remember hearing.
I think it was. I'll go back and look and see if I can find it. But yeah, it was definitely broke down. Something about the battery was dead, and one of the tires was flat, I think too. And it had sat there. You could look at it too, and like all the leaves that were on it and stuff like that. Looked, it hadn't been moved in a long time.
Yeah.
All the leaves are brown. The leaves are brown.
And the sky is gray.
Yeah, the sky actually is gray. Well, actually, it's black right
now. I have to pee so bad.
You know what? It's time to wrap up anyways. Logan will get the first shot at wrapping up, then Dago, then JJ, then 1-1, and then Robin, and then we're out. Logan, you're up, so you can go pee.
Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight and always having great conversations in the chat. You guys are amazing and make the show as always. Thank you so much to the mods and our new members and old members, of course. Don't forget, Sundays are members only giveaway. Happy birthday to my mom. I hope you had a wonderful day. Do something nice for yourself today. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your animals. Bye, guys.
All right. You don't have to stick around for the close. You can leave if you want to or hang out. Dago, what's up?
First of all, happy birthday to Mom Logan. And damn it, Logan, thank you for making me not sleep again tonight. I'm going to be thinking my brains out again because it happens. It happens all the time. But I love it because this is what I like to do. I like to, as much as I complain about it, I like to think about things. So anyway, thank you all for joining us again. As always, it was a great conversation as always. No doubt ever. Thank you to all of my fellow panel members. Absolutely amazing people. And thank you to all of our mods and all of the beautiful people. As I say, guys, don't forget to love yourselves, love each other, don't change a thing. I can't wait till the next time we do this, and we will see you all soon.
By the way, I can't drink when I watch you up close because your autofocus moves around so much. I think I would like hurl my cookies. Like I started focusing out. I was like, what the hell's going on with his head?
Me?
Yeah. When you were talking, your autofocus kept
my camera has it. It's either a ghost or my camera is haunted. It does it constantly.
I know. I was like, oh, I can't drink if I'm watching Dago. I got to look away. Look away. All right, Joe, what's up? Dago, sorry, not Dago,
thank you.
Joe's.
Thank you, advocates. Thank you, denizens, meatballs, and the awesome mods. Always a good time. And I'll be back tomorrow. But next week, I'm going to be taking some time off. I'll still be on streams, but I got to get back to doing some research and books that I want to read. And I've kind of slipped on that lately because I've been busy with other stuff. So I'm going to get back to that and hopefully get my channel up and running. And then, I'll be back at it as soon as I have more time. I want to be on as much as I can. So I look forward to it. I'll see you guys soon.
All righty. Well, hopefully like you said, maybe we'll see you tomorrow night. And, yeah, and we'll have to look for like a Joe point half so we can like have somebody to fill in when you're not around. But
just record a bunch of conspiracy shit on a little
just kind of play it on a loop. Yeah,
on a little loop, and you just hit a button, and you need a little conspiracy, deep state stuff.
Did Logan just change clothes while we were off camera? Because it looks like she's in different clothes. Okay. All right. One. What's up?
Maybe make a JJ like robot. We could like put a robot.
AI.
That's awesome.
Great discussion. Turtles, denizens, meatballs, Logan, Dago, JJ, Robin, Bossman Lee. As always, thank you to wonderful mods and all of you guys who come to watch us every night. We have no show without you guys. So great stuff coming in the future. And I'll look forward to our discussion tomorrow. I will end with my movie quote.
Yay.
So does Dago get a 10-second handicap?
I don't know. We've been pretty quick last time.
Yeah.
I haven't been getting them lately.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Did I mention my leg is 44 inches from hip to toe? So basically, we're talking about 88 inches of therapy wrapped around you for the bargain price.
Julia Roberts.
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Yeah.
Pretty Woman.
Yeah. Nice.
That was a little.
Good job.
That was a little dicey. That's a little adult right there.
I forgot the name of the movie. I just I was like,
yeah, you started to
Julia
lose your mind when
Roberts,
you heard about 88 inches. Yeah, I get it. That's beautiful.
Good stuff.
Beautiful. Great quote. All right, Robin, what do you got?
That was a great movie. That's one of
You got
one
it,
of my
Robin.
favorites.
You got
Absolutely.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I got one.
You got one.
I got one. Well, thanks so much for coming out, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful night. We appreciate you whether you're here live or whether you're on the replay crew, we really appreciate it. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you like the videos. And I know, you know, Lee has more great stuff coming out tomorrow. So, you know, consider for $2.99 becoming a member, because there's a lot of great content that you probably, if you're not a member, you haven't seen yet. There's like tons of it. So,
Tons, yeah.
and it's well worth it. Well worth it. And happy birthday to your mom, Logan. I hope she had a wonderful birthday today.
Thank
And you're welcome. And thanks so much for coming out, everyone. And have yourselves a great night.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. All right. I'm telling you, man, people can't even start a line that's a song, and I won't go with. I'll go there. Anyway,
homie, don't play that.
Homie, don't play that.
Let me tell you something.
Then he hits him with the sock.
I'm gonna bring that in from now on.
The kids in the squish. I squish your head.
I'm clutching. Oh, the kids in the hall.
Kids in the hall. I crush your head.
I'm clutching your head.
Anyways, as for me, I will say I do have a premiere video. Here's what I'll have to say this. What I'm going to say tomorrow is something I've never seen anybody talk about, which was that moment a Pullman police officer asked a shocking question on camera that blew my mind. And then we went down a rabbit hole. Some of the stuff, the rabbit hole you may have heard about before with the coach and other things. But I think, to toot my own horn, I will approach it in a way you haven't heard it approached before, because I see things sometimes differently than everybody else sees. So I hope that you'll give me a shot, even if you think you know the Tyler Yelk story, if you think you know the coach story, if you think you know about Kaylee Gonzalez babysitting and what all that stuff is. If you think you know all of that story, you probably still don't know about the cop that asks about it, and you probably haven't heard it with my spin. So I hope you will give me a shot tomorrow. 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will be on as a premiere, so I will be in the live chat. I've already pre-recorded the show. I had to do a bunch of extra editing, so hope you will make it worth my time and effort, because I had to fucking put some effort into that one. And I can't take credit, by the way. People on the chat helped me sniff out some of those questions, and I'm like, oh my God, and said they helped. Amanda, our lovely Amanda, live during the show, found the police documents that went along with my question. She's like, yeah, that's report number 117. That's report 200. She pulled that shit up while we were doing it live. We're doing it live. But I did a breakdown of it, and I hope you will check it out. If you don't get to watch it live, then watch it in the replay. Everybody else, I will see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Crimes After Dark. Thank you, everybody, and have a great night. Stay safe.
Have a great
night,
night,
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.